name is Julie Janson. I'm an author and I've been invited up here to this wonderful festival in order to talk to other writers and to talk to other Indigenous writers and to promote my own book, which is Madukka, the River Serpent. It's an Indigenous crime novel and it's set on the Darling River at the time in 2020 when the Darling River dried up due to the extraction of water by cotton farmers mainly from the Bowen River and different parts of South Queensland and into the north of New South Wales. And the river dried up during that drought. It was also drought affected. And I've written a crime novel about some deaths along the river, but also the environmental crime of killing rivers.
The gritty reflection of the Indigenous community, all related in one way or another to Auntie June in this book, blew me out of the water.
Well, the Miles Franklin is very prestigious in Australia. It's set up under the Miles Franklin estate, which is to give it's a grant of $60,000 given every year to what they regard as the best novel that has come out in the last 12 months. And this year, the long list is a very diverse list. There's people of African descent, Arabic descent, Indian descent, Chinese descent, and Aboriginal descent, and a few European descent. And I think it's an opportunity to celebrate new stories in new ways, and very exciting to be nominated. I didn't expect that, but anyway, it's a real privilege. Yeah. There's some beginner writers here and some others who are well on the way to publishing their own work or being published by others. People from Vanuatu and Solomon Islands and Fiji. It's really remarkable. We may be a small group, but it's really important to those Indigenous writers to meet each other, to encourage each other and to help each other on that long journey to being professionally published. It's hard.
I think a lot of writers would say it's finding the time. When you've got an ordinary job, I was a teacher for most of my life and I raised 3 children, I've got grandchildren. You have to put the time to write aside, even if it's first thing in the morning, and you have to be really driven. And if you're not driven, you're most probably not going to get there. It's kind of got to be this terrible obsession, like an illness really, that you have to write. Yes, and it follows you around. And I do a lot of writing on my phone. You know, you're standing at the supermarket or something and you can write it on a text to yourself and send it to yourself. That's really helpful, having a phone, because you immediately can put it straight into a manuscript. Look, I don't think there's any secrets. I think we all know it's about hard work.
And supporting each other. I mean, it's a hard road being published, and I think the support of other writers and organisations like what Anna has put together is really important to look after each other, because often your own immediate family don't understand that you need to write and they don't see the value in it. If people don't see the immediate money value in something, they sometimes think it's a waste of time, because we all need to make a living. We have to, pay rents or mortgages and look after children. I would say to any beginning writer is that you just have to keep doing it, no matter who tries to tell you not to, and you get better and better and better. And doing online courses, and it's very lonely, the long road, especially if you're writing a novel or a whole lot of short stories. It's a particularly hard journey if you're writing something that's long. And you do need emotional support and professional encouragement, and also professional advice.
It's such an important movement, and it will grow. I mean, the First Nations Australian Writers Network, which is is the organisation that represents Australian Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in Australia, started very small. 5 years ago, I went to a meeting and there were 6 people sitting around a table reading to each other. And that was only, 5 years ago. And they're now, they've received huge grants, they're doing enormous summits and conferences, and they've become a real force. And it only took 5 years because of a couple of passionate people at the centre of it. So it is possible. From small things, big things grow.